Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We're also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss whether or not we should just leave the allocated bourbon chasers alone.
Leave the bourbon chasers alone.
My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, as well as our special guests, Linda Modica, Jeff Andreezy, Darren McRoy, and Dana the Dreamer 6.
Hey gang, what's up?
Howdy, y'all. Hey, everyone.
Hey-oh. So yeah, we're going to have some fun today. We're going to be talking about the chasers. The people who love the allocated stuff, they think it's the better way. They can't imagine anything but that. They can't imagine, why would anybody be interested in anything but Blanton's or Eagle Rare or whatever it is. That's what bourbon is. That's what whiskey is. That's what the industry's all about. A place like the ABV Barrel Shop, why would you want that? A bunch of brands that don't look cool on Instagram, why would you need that? So we'll talk about those folks, and we famously, like to kind of make fun of them because we think that they're drinking worse whiskey than us. I mean, and you know what? I don't think that. I know that. We drink better whiskey than they do. So should we make fun of that? Or should we just be like, you know what? Let them work this out, and one of two things will happen. Either they're going to come to our side at some point, or they'll burn out because it's just at some point you realize how dumb it is chasing that stuff. But we'll get to that after the break. For right now, though, Linda said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that, Linda?
Yes, I want to know your all's worst technological thing that has gone wrong ever.
Okay. Technology can be a problem. What is the worst?
My whole life, technology has been a problem. I am the least technologically gifted person ever.
Okay.
Can't speak very well either, evidently. But I almost anytime I touch technology, it just goes wrong. And so I don't know what my worst is ever, but actually, as we're recording this, just 2 days ago, I spent about an hour trying to get a printer to work to print off something for Demetrius Cane Festival. It was a whole hassle. And
cost me like $26. Yeah. He's like, I got the solution. I got to go buy a ream of this kind of paper. I'm like, sure. How much can a ream of paper cost? He comes back. He's like, oh, that was $26. I'm like, oh.
I didn't think it was that expensive either.
Thank God.
I thought it was like $2.
And then he submits his mileage report for going up to the office store. I'm like, oh, I didn't know we even had mileage reports, but yeah, we'll pay that out, I guess. So yeah.
But this printer gave me so many troubles. I'd put the paper in one door and it'd come out another door, and it was never the same door 3 times. And every time you thought you had an exchange, there was a surprise of which door it was coming out of. So
yeah,
it was awful. I have literally thought about it several times since then about how stupid and dumb printers are. Printers are the worst thing ever. Right. They all deserve to be kicked off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Nothing drives me crazier than when younger people are like,
grew up with this stuff, right, Becca?
I just can't figure out the technology. I mean, I only grew up with it.
Oh, yeah.
Just
I was
because
using
I'm
it
26 years old. does not
first
mean I'm
grade.
actually.
There's a few people on this episode today who, if they say I can't figure it out, doesn't make any sense, I'll go, totally get it, I understand.
Right. This was not
Figure it
available.
out together.
Right.
But when someone, we're not going to say who right now,
Right. Because it's just
complains
laziness.
that they
It's
can't
laziness.
figure out how technology works and how they're nothing but horrible with technology all the time.
Right.
And like they grew up like holding an iPad. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm good with touchscreen things. If I can touch the screen, I can figure it out. But if it doesn't have a touchscreen, I'm out.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, I can't figure out touchshreen either. That was
Oh,
funny.
boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Becca, any technology things that ever just caused you grief or worse, failure from technology?
It's never a failure, it's a figure it out.
Okay. Okay.
Because most technology, literally, you can just fucking, I don't know, go and YouTube it real quick.
Right.
And you can figure out why it's not working.
Okay.
Or you can Google it and figure out why it's not working. I mean, like,
Yeah,
for the most part, not everything, but a lot of that stuff you can figure out if you are smarter than the printer, Darren.
Okay.
Nope, not smarter than
I tell my
That's what I
story.
hate
There's
about
nothing.
AI.
There's nothing to figure out on mine. It went wrong, but I'll tell.
I
that
don't
in a
think I've
second.
really had any like massive failures,
Okay.
I guess, when it comes to technology stuff. Like
Right.
not really.
Technology loves me. I do everything. right. I'm so
It's called
perfect,
having a
Becky.
brain, Darren. It's called having a brain. It's actually it's not even having a brain. It's just being smart enough to Google it.
Yeah. Exactly.
All you gotta be is smart enough to Google or look at YouTube. You can fucking change an engine out by watching YouTube.
Right.
Surely to God, you can YouTube how to use a HP printer, why it won't work on YouTube, and it'll bring up 27 videos.
Yeah. Don't you wonder why people don't use Google? It is a funny thing. Like, I'll send out an email and be like, all right, we're doing a barrel pick at Nobleton's, meet you at the distillery. And then I'll get an email. So someone takes time to then
Type.
develop an email and send me an email and say, what's the address of the distillery? Do you not fucking Google that?
It's like, what do you mean?
Right.
What do you mean? What is it?
And
Roy
it's not
says
like he
it
has
to me
two
sometimes. He'll
addresses.
go, well, so what is? And I'm like, don't you have a fucking phone in your hand, literally right now? Isn't there an actual computer glued to your hand at all times?
Mm-hmm.
A very smart computer at that,
Right.
and one that not only you can search stuff up, you could call
Yeah.
someone that's maybe possibly smarter than you.
Yeah. There's a lot of options.
There are so many options.
You can
There's
just say,
AI.
hey, Siri, what's the address of Nobleton's?
Yeah.
Oh, and she'll tell you. I mean,
And there's different apps you can use on your phone to find it. You can use Google. You can just use your maps like that.
Right.
Figure out the fastest way to get to it. What do you mean? Why are
I'm
you
gonna-
asking me a question?
I'm going to send an email, and then I'll wait for Steve to respond so I know where to go for this.
I'm
Really?
like, why are you even like?
You could have solved it 100 times.
The thing I started doing, Steve, is now when people ask me a fucking question, I go, oh, gee, let me Google that real quick.
Oof.
And I
feel
like say it out
attacked.
loud so that they know that like maybe they could have fucking Googled it. Maybe you should have fucking Googled it, dumbass. And like people come into our fucking into our gift shop and we're like, well, I'm just figuring out like where is Belterra Casino from here? Literally what do you mean?
Right.
How
Guy
can you
gets on his
not
flip phone, and then you're like, oh, okay.
how can you not find it? I understand calling to say, hey, are you guys open on Easter?
Right.
A legitimate question
Yeah,
to
that's
ask.
a legitimate question.
Are you guys flooded?
Right. Right.
We're not. We're
At the
okay.
appropriate times, that could make sense to ask that
Yeah,
question.
I can agree with that. But
And if you guys flood, you have a problem.
if we flood, everyone is fucking dead.
They're done. It's over. It's over.
Everyone is fucking dead. I'm
all
going
dead.
to the Ark.
Yeah. You have that arc nearby. That's the good
Yeah,
thing.
I'm going to the Ark
Got that,
encounter.
you've got that close. All right. We got a couple of HR people here. Let's see if this ties in. So
Oh, boy.
Dana first with ask her.
I mean, were y'all all here when I tried to log on?
So were you doing like a presentation ever, and like all of a sudden your home porn pops up, and you're like, oh, that's embarrassing.
No, I use separate devices. For that, so.
But I would say
okay.
probably my most tragic one was like the very first time I was going to be on the Bourbon Daily. It's like, oh, I'm going to be so cool. I'm going to use these AirPods and whatever. And you're like, it's echoing. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I
We could hear
couldn't
it. We
figure
could hear
out
it
how to
coming out of
get
your
my,
AirPods. Yeah.
I couldn't get the AirPods to work.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but
All right.
normally I keep my corporate and my personal life separate. So
Okay, that's probably a good
Good. Up and
policy.
up there.
Good
Always
policy.
a good plan.
yeah.
Jeff, how about you?
Well, other than the normal inconveniences, I think of a couple things that go back to when I was a kid. So it was technology at the time.
Okay.
So for Christmas one year, our parents got us a turntable with built-in disco lights.
Oh, this
And
is
as
technology.
Glorious.
Cutting
Yes.
edge.
And
Cutting edge
yes,
technology.
at the time, and as the beat was the lights were supposed to flash.
Okay, they mirror the music. Okay.
Yes, and it didn't work, and I was so disappointed because we were going to have a
Right, because they hadn't invented Google, and you were like, "Shit, if I
There was
could
no
Google this,
Google.
I'd be fine."
So,
Yeah.
but if that's not bad enough, the next Christmas we got as a family gift an Atari 2600 or whatever,
Uh huh.
and we're all tearing into it. And we hook it up, and that didn't work, and
Oh,
I was so mad. So those are my technology failures that haunt me to this day
Yeah, but
from
you
1979
couldn't do
and
anything about
1980.
that.
Yeah.
What's that?
Back then, you couldn't do anything about it.
No, I just had to wait to go back to the store and get a new one.
Yeah, you
Right.
can't Google it.
No.
No,
You couldn't go and you can go to a store, I guess, and be like, how do I fix this? But they usually are like, I don't know. It's usually some
Right.
like stoner
You bought
who's
it.
like,
Right.
I don't know. I just work here, man.
Yeah. My big one was, of course, I worked, in sales and for corporate headquarters, and we had a whole new initiative going on where we sent out like a group, and it was like a rehearsed thing where everyone had a part and all that. It was being run off my laptop, and and not only did I have my boss, who was like the director of sales there, just mid-level management guy, we had the executive vice president of sales and marketing for the the company, the big boss, and we're at lunch getting ready for after lunch presentation. And my boss, the director of sales, says, "Hey, let's get this set up, make sure everything's smooth because we got the big boss here, and we'll get it." So we cut out a lunch early, and we go in there, and he's like, "I want to set this up on your computer. I want to get this." So he sets down his glass of water next to my laptop, and he's working on it, and he's kind of moving it around and that because he's unplugging things and he's got all this shit because he's Mr. Big Production. So I grabbed the glass of water and just set it on the desk next to there, and he says, "I'm not a child," and picks up the glass and puts it next to the computer again, and then he goes to fuck with my computer and then knocks that glass into my keyboard, and the water falls into the keyboard. I'm thinking, that's our presentation, and he's like, "It's fine." As it happens, he turns my laptop over and it's water's falling out, rolling out of it, and you see the screen just shuts down, and then it's done, and I'm like, my laptop's not working, and he's like, "That's our presentation," and he's like, "You sent it to me to check. I think I can get my laptop out and so then we're worried we got to tell the big boss because my computer is now, it's in brick mode, and we get it plugged in and it works. He does have the final presentation, so we're ready to go, and so we got to then tell the big boss. We wait until after the presentation because we don't know how he's going to react, and he thought it was fucking hilarious. I ruined my brain, and my boss who's telling the story is like, "I saved the day while having the backup." You didn't save the day, shit. You ruined the
You
fucking-
knocked
You're
the
the one who
water over.
caused this. Yeah, and I called him out because that's what I would do. I would never stand for that shit. I was like, "You fucked it up. You're the guy. You're the way we had the problems. You're not the hero. You didn't save the day. You ruined the day."
Yeah, we had to save the day because you ruined it.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You fucked up. There is nothing better than your boss fucking something up hardcore.
Exactly.
Like there is nothing. This is a little bit off base, but a little bit with Steve's. When I worked in the oil field, one of my bosses flew the company plane, and we got in, and the first thing he said to me was, "Yeah, we'll get coffees, but whatever you do, do not spill your coffee in the plane because that's a big deal." And I'm like, obviously, don't.
Right.
And I like get in the plane, and I'm like holding my
Very
coffee. I'm like
careful.
nervous. I'm like, and I'm holding it like crazy. And he gets in the plane and knocks over his. And he got like the largest one. Knocks over his entire hot coffee in the plane. It's also like -10 or 20, like -20 outside.
Yeah.
And it's dripping out the bottom of the plane.
Right.
And I'm like standing there and I'm like trying not to laugh. And he just like, he does it and he looks at me and he goes, "You better thank God this wasn't you because I'd be screaming at you right now." And I'm like,
It's the same thing. He tries
wasn't
to turn
me.
it on you. Yeah.
"You did it."
Yeah.
It was like you spilled a fucking coffee in a fucking a 6-person plane, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like in the front of it. I'm like, he goes, there technically shouldn't be anything like right under all these controls.
Right. Yeah.
What? Sir?
No shit.
Yeah. Hilarious.
It was
Fucking
beautiful.
bosses. That's why you got to own your own business. Bosses suck. So yeah,
So,
especially
Steve-
in corporate America. Yeah. Go
Steve,
ahead.
you mentioned HR, so I've got this is complete user error
Okay.
with technology. So this past winter, my buddies and I were heading up northern Minnesota to do some ice fishing, and it was a big football weekend. So we knew that they told us we could get TV reception out there, but we were all worried about it. And at the same time, so I'm texting my buddies, but I'm also texting the 5 ladies that work for me, and I accidentally sent a text to my staff that said, "Well, we can always tie some tinfoil to Shane's wiener."
This is the HR guy. This is the HR guy. Yeah.
One from my staff just writes back, "I'm guessing this wasn't intended for this group." Oh,
Yikes.
the next day they all were waiting for me to just laugh their asses off because it was pretty good.
Yeah. I guess.
That's user error with technology.
Yeah, technology. It'll get you for sure. All right. On that note, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What? Oh,
We missed We missed.
Yeah,
Linda.
I didn't go.
well, let's stop the show. Okay. Doesn't the show? Isn't it whatever I want it to be? It's my show.
It's literally whatever you want.
Right.
You are the boss.
Well, yeah, I wanted it, but that's okay. Go ahead, Linda. Well, you asked the question. You should get the right answer. What do you got? And it better be good, by the way. You have to-
In September, I set up a new phone, and my family was setting up new phones too, and theirs are done in 2 hours, and my phone says 25 more hours. And the evening's going on, it's like 30 hours, 35. It's like 3, 4 in the morning, and I'm like, I'm going to bed. And I get my phone up, and it's like 30 more hours when I wake up in the morning, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And I show it to Matt, and he's like, Matt works IT. He's like, I don't know what's going on. And then he goes
That's
on.
not good.
He's like, I don't know what's going on. And then he goes on and he's like, you're trying to upload 2,500 episodes of the Bourbon Daily onto your phone. Onto your phone.
Damn, that's a fan right there. Okay, I'm glad we got the story. That's a good one.
So he like continues to try to do it. It's like, we can't do pictures. We can't.
Oh, you need those episodes.
You can't freaking sign into your
No, you don't need any of that
you
other
can't
stuff.
do
You just need
anything.
the Bourbon Daily.
Yes, you have a phone and it's an iPod. It's a freaking iPod, you know? And then like, I don't know what Matt did, but we fixed it. But I never told it to do that. 2,500 episodes of the Bourbon Daily.
You gotta have that. That's the key.
That's a #1 fan right there.
Right?
Yeah, no shit.
I need 2,500 episodes of this show. So yeah, that is good.
Priorities.
That is good. All right. Linda wins that thing, so for sure. That was the best story. So on that note, it's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Linda.
I'm going to do the sweet thumped Neely.
Okay, that was good. A little squeaky, but overall the pop was good. All right, Darren, you look like you're ready to go. We better let you go.
Kyle mentioned this bottle the other day when he was at the shop, and I was like, "Ooh, I haven't drinking that in a while." So I have the red line finished in vanilla brandy casks.
Oh yeah. Okay, not as good as Linda's, but yeah, good pour for sure. I'll go next. I've got. I keep saying I want to bring this into the shop and share it with some people, but then I was like, it's kind of really good. It's my last bottle. Old Monroe 119.6. Their rye. They have that great rye recipe, the pre-prohibition recipe, and this is, I think, the highlight of that series for sure. Let's see what we got here. Solid as well, but not as good as Linda's. She still has the lead, but Beka's next.
All right, I've got some Hardin's Creek. The 2-year-old aged in barrels.
Okay.
Obviously.
Okay. Remove the strap. Okay. Okay.
Nothing.
Quiet. Very quiet. Dana the Dreamer 6, you're next. Linda has the lead.
The basic bitch has entered the chat. I have some nice Elijah Craig small batch, so.
Okay. Cute, but not enough. Here's where we're at here. Linda is at the verge of winning her first cork pop, but she's going to have to get through Jeff to do that. Jeff, you're last but not least. What do you got there, man?
I have some RD1 from the ABV Barrel Shop.
Okay. Those corks can be explosive. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, that's close. That's really close, but I think Linda got it there. So congrats to Linda. She wins. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Congrats, Linda. T-shirt for you.
Mm-hmm. Grab that cork pop T-shirt over at
Dana just drinking from the bottle.
network.com. Yeah. Oh, Dana's back to her normal stuff. So yeah.
Oh boy.
She'll be.
It's a good thing
Yeah.
it's not NFL.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, Dana, are you drunk? Oh, it's yeah, whatever. So maybe.
Well, it's been a pretty shitty football weekend, so.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. All right. What we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about should we leave the chasers alone? Should we just let them alone? Let them be? We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
My name is Ryan Thompson. I'm a billionaire who buys stupid scotch, and you are listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're wondering, should we leave the chasers alone?
Yes, we are. So, should we be just, take the higher ground and just not make fun of them and just let them be? Or should we continue to point out how dumb they are?
So I'm honestly torn on this one.
Okay.
And good. I've been debating on which way I'm going to fall on. So I think I'm going to fall right on the fence post is what I'm going for.
Perfect.
I think it would be great if we could stop teasing them because it takes a lot of my time making fun of them. I have to say it on multiple times a day, and it kind of gets exhausting. But on the other hand, I think that is my only jokes that are funny is making fun of people that chase bourbon. So I'm not that interesting of a guy. I don't even know how to Google things. So I think I'm good to keep him around. We got to keep bullying him.
They do have like
learn.
the most entertaining stories. I will say that. Oh, I've sat outside and I've got this, that, and the other. And I'm like, I don't even care, bro. But I do like their stories.
You lost me when you said you sat outside in a city area.
Exactly.
I don't find their stories interesting at all. I just want them to shut the fuck up and get away from me.
Yeah.
I just like hearing how stupid they are.
Away from me.
Right.
I can't. The answer is no, Steve. We do not stop making fun of them because bullying works, and we should continue to be bullies about it. I don't know why we'd stop being bullies. I understand the anti-bullying movement, whatever. Bullying works. It does. Guess what? Darren's going to all these new restaurants these days.
Yeah, I am.
Because I bullied him into it.
Right.
Bullying and shame. It's
also I'm exploring different spirits like Beka recommended or bullied me into doing.
I bullied you. I say recommendation my ass. I was the bully. I bullied you about it.
Yeah.
I was mean.
So we all need to be Beka is what I'm saying.
it.
So everyone just start being Beka.
Shame and bullying works. It does, unfortunately.
It does.
I think that we should continue to bully them around.
Right.
And they don't care. Here's the thing. They don't care. There's not even a brain cell in their fucking head anyways. So
They most of the time don't get that you're making fun of them.
the bullying is more fun for us than anyone else because they don't even know that we're making fun of them most of the time.
Amen.
Right.
I mean, it's mostly just for our entertainment at this point.
It's
and they're
tough.
like, no, it's the best thing I've ever had in my life. Really? Because I've had it too. I've had some of the fanciest, most expensive fucking whiskey that anyone's ever had.
Right.
I've had very nice stuff. Guess what? It's not that fucking great.
No.
Yeah.
Is it cool to drink? Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
If I'm not paying for it.
Sure. But I mean, I had a guy in the other day, and it's hard for me to sit there and listen to that. I've got some of the finest whiskey in the world, and, he's not really interested in trying it. He wants to tell me about, he and his wife went up to Kentucky. They're from St. Louis. They went up to Kentucky and were there for 3 days, and they went to Buffalo Trace every day. And lo and behold, guess what? One of the days they were releasing Eagle Rare, and they got to buy 2 fucking bottles. Imagine going up 3 nights of hotel, meals, and all. So you can buy 2 bottles of fucking Eagle Rare. That's your prize. And I feel like he won the fucking lottery because he got 2 bottles of Eagle Rare.
About that is if they actually decided to take the time to go to other distilleries and sample their products, they could find something
so much better stuff.
So much better than what Eagle Rare is.
I know.
Like literally so and Eagle Rare is fine. I've got
it's not a bad product for what it is.
Yeah, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with Eagle. Obviously, it's a great whiskey.
If I ever get in the mood for a 90 proof,
we're not saying that this stuff sucks.
I'll drink that.
No, yeah.
At any point, are we saying that it sucks or anything like that? It's boring, and
it's basic.
And you're a basic bitch if you're just going and searching it out all the time. And that's the only thing that's the only cool thing you're doing is going and finding stuff that costs way too much money. I mean, I don't know, it's just fucking boring.
Right.
Like when some of these people pour here's a bad thing, I guess, is I think it's really nice for people to come and pour that stuff for me, Royce, whoever, Steve, and they're like, oh, I got this, and I worked, I searched everywhere for it, and you're like, wow, thanks.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm appreciative because it's free whiskey, so always appreciative of that. But that's what you were searching so hard for.
But pour me something you haven't had,
Yeah.
On that note, Steve, I'm so happy that the people that bring us whiskey to try know what we like a little bit more, and they're like, "Hey, we found this really weird distillery in the middle of Kansas. You want to try it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
My first question is, did they actually make it?
Right.
Well, yeah.
Because that's the other problem, and this happened twice this past week to us.
Right.
Was 2 times we had people who I thought on first introduction were relatively smart whiskey people.
Yeah.
And twice, Steve already heard about it. They thought that these two places that they poured us, like, oh, this stuff is really good. You've probably never had it. And I'm like, yeah, I never even heard of that place. And they're like, oh, they're in Bardstown. I'm like,
Okay.
Yeah.
they pour it, and immediately I taste it, and I texted Royce, that's Barton.
Right.
Like, it's not. And then another one, this guy's like, yeah, they make this stuff down here in Louisiana. And we look at the back, and Royce points, and it says, distilled in Kentucky. I'm like, God, like, come on. Like, it's the easiest fucking thing to figure out.
Right. Yeah. People have no idea about that kind of stuff.
I struggle with this question a little bit because two things. At work, I have to put on my HR face, and I never really get to say what I'm thinking.
Uh-huh.
I have to be calm and be professional.
Send wiener texts and all.
Yes, that was on a Saturday night in my in the smoke shack. So, but I have to be careful. And as an executive bourbon steward, I feel at some point I have to be careful too. So it really depends on the audience.
Right.
If it's somebody I know really well, I'm just going to say,
right.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're wasting a bunch of time. Let's try.
I'll say this. This is a little bit old school in a different way of thinking, but we watched the movie The Birds together the other night, and I pointed this out when it happened. You got someone who's hysterical, and this doesn't happen anymore. This would involve charges and someone going to jail and being on the news and that. But someone's hysterical, and they slap it across the face, and they bring it back together. I feel like us making fun of them is this attempt of old school slap across the face.
You're right.
We're slapping them across the face to say you are a fool. Just let your palate decide. No, the people that are into that sort of whiskey don't let their palate be the judge of what they think is good. They let the internet. They let photos and people who chase these things determine what they think is good. That's the problem with those people. They need that slap across the face. They need to be like, no, you're an idiot. That's dumb. Trace this. What do you think? Wash all the ideas out of your head. Just judge this by how it tastes in your mouth. And if they do that, they'll find better whiskey.
You know what's funny about those people too?
Uh-huh.
Is the fact that the exact same people who will say, well, this is the most popular, it's won a bunch of awards, it's clearly the best. If a craft brand wins the exact same award that let's say like Blanton's won the award 1 year, and then whoever won it the next year, they will not agree that it is the same caliber as the Blantons because of the fact that it is not as mainstream.
Yeah.
So two brands can have the exact same award, but because one is a popular brand and one of them is virtually a no-name brand, they will completely disagree with the judges on that point. They'll say, well, the judges said it's proven that Blanton's is the best. It won World Whiskey Awards, #1 single barrel. It won San Francisco, #1 single barrel, whatever. But if a small brand does the exact same thing, they'll say, well, it's not even good. Honestly, I've had it. It's not good. It doesn't matter. Judges they don't have the same palate as me, so it's just different. What the fuck? Make up your fucking mind.
Yeah.
I'd pour them some Blantons and I'd pour them some 23B blind and tell them which one do you like best.
And that's not even me like trying to like say it about like us necessarily, but it is how those people fucking think. They show all the awards of like Eagle Rare as a platinum award winning whatever. If a small brand does that, no one fucking cares, and they'll still talk shit about the small brand because it's a different flavor profile than fucking Blanton's or than Eagle Rare or Weller or whatever the fuck it is that they're tasting. And so they just won't agree suddenly. And they'll say it's not that good. And now the judges are magically wrong. And I'm not saying the judges are always right, or to my palate, I should say. But how can you agree with them 1 year and then disagree with them the next?
Yeah. Right. But that's just life in general. And I saw someone had a small business post the other day, which I thought was very accurate because it said McDonald's can fuck up your order 50 times, yet you'll still go back to that stupid fucking place.
Yep.
Like a sheep. But you go to a small business, a small family-owned company, and they fuck up your order one time. You go on Facebook and blast them, and like the next day, I saw the exact thing happen. They went to a small business in Arnold, a small restaurant. I won't say who it is because I think it's very unfair how this person did that. But they're like, the hostess showed me the table. She seemed disinterested in us being there. And it took 10 minutes for them to get to my table. So you put this on blast and say it's the worst restaurant ever based on one experience, and some of it you're interpreting. You're saying that the hostess, there may be another people that the hostess sees that doesn't say that, but one time. But and this same person, they've been fucked over by McDonald's and every other fast food restaurant or whatever it is 100 times, and you're not putting them on blast. But you do that kind of shit to small businesses. People are idiots. This is why we have so many of these big brands that dominate things, or in restaurants, why things like Olive Garden are huge, and the small local Italian pasta companies don't make it in the world. People like that fucking big brand shit. I don't understand it. I avoid the big brands of everything whenever I can.
People are just all fucking hypocrites, Steve.
It's readily available in most cases. I mean, that's like
Blanton's. Well, not Blanton's, but all the big brands, readily available. They're not going to complain if one of the batches they get isn't that great. They'll still fucking drink it. They're still going to buy. Guess what? If they get a batch of Booker's or whatever it is, and they don't like that batch, they're still going to buy the second batch.
They're just go for the name. Yeah,
exactly. They'll buy it again because what everyone says. If they buy one single barrel or batch from a small distillery and they don't like it, they'll say that was the worst thing I've ever tasted. All their stuff must all be that disgusting. I mean, I see it with New Riff a lot of times. People say, "Oh, I had to taste New Riff once and it was disgusting. I hated it." And I'm like, "Whoa there, buddy.
What was it?"
For one, New Riff has a billion different fucking mash bills they do. If you don't like one, go to a different one. New Riff has so many different flavor profiles for you to choose from. Like, you just need to go in and actually taste stuff from New Riff, because you're going to find something that you like from there, because they have just so many different flavor profiles there. Yeah. You cannot say that one thing you tasted from New Riff must mean it all sucks.
Yeah.
So what I am hearing is that it's just kind of bad for everybody. The people that camp out, it's just kind of bad for everybody.
It is bad. Yeah.
I don't even think the Blanton's drinkers are the problem right now.
Okay.
So many times lately in the shop, I've been like, "Oh, this guy's gonna say his favorite thing's Blanton's." He's like, "You know what? I don't actually like Blanton's, but that Eagle Rare though." So
Eagle Rare is definitely because you know what? Eagle Rare is becoming a little bit more available, so people are getting their hands on it. Though they think it's incredibly hard to find, it's definitely out there now because again, Buffalo Trace, as we know, is getting caught up on their whiskey. Now they've got issues right now. Let's hurt them down the road. As they're dealing with the flooding, which is a terrible thing, and they do a lot of great things. I love Buffalo Trace. That's a great company that does a lot of good for the community, their community, and communities around the country with all the charitable work they do. And I hate the fact that they've had to deal with this flooding. And God, it seems like it's going to be a big deal. It seems like they're going to be, on the ropes for a little while. Because I mean, when you look at those photos of their gift shop. Flooded up to the roof. I mean, my God, that's a lot of work you got to do to get that place.
Having been there a year ago, it's just painful to see that.
It is. That was hurtful. When I saw that, I was like, "Fuck, why? Why does that have to happen to them?" So
I saw it too. It was around April Fool's, and people were like, "Is this a joke?" People were saying in the comments.
Yeah. Sucks. So
April Fool's is a dumb holiday.
We need to get rid of it. Although we did a great April Fool's show, that was pretty epic. Thanks to Kathy Cool, though. I mean, she gets the MVP of that one.
She was special.
She had a show on that one. So yeah. All right, we're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Linda, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
It's linda.monica1 on Instagram.
All right, Darren.
You can find me on Instagram at the Bourbon Adventures.
Jeff.
Well, you won't find me standing in line waiting for to do some bourbon hunting, but you'll find me on Facebook, Instagram, and the Cigar Dojo, Jeff Andreezy. 2 I's and 2 Z's.
All right, Dana the Dreamer 6.
You can find me as Dana the Dreamer 6, as Steve said, on Instagram.
Miss Beka
So
Sue.
creative.
Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check that one out. Everything that we do is out there. Also, come by and see us. We always have cool things going on. Lots of barrel picks coming in. They are rolling in right now. So we got them coming in fast and furious over. And you can see our current inventory. You can see what events we've got coming over at abvbarrelshop.com. We just had a big deal the other day, the festival. Linda, you attended the festival. Did you enjoy that?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I had a good time.
Yeah. So we're doing some cool stuff. And we've got our birthday festival will be the next big festival we do. That'll be in July. Please check that out. You can, there are still tickets available, and you definitely want to be part of that. That's a special day for sure. Darren and I there's a bunch of work we got to do on that one.
Yeah,
but I'm not too worried about it.
We have a lot of work to do on that one now.
We do have a lot of work, but I feel good because if you think about, and kind of we've done some of the groundwork, like we kind of get the start. We did it last year, so we have that going for us. But in reality, last year we didn't start. The idea was never for a festival until, we had, after Jim passed away, we had, Linda's husband was one of them. And then we had Dave and Wayne step up and help us finish the speakeasy. It wasn't done when Jim passed away. He was the guy who did all the work on it. But there was a few things that needed to be tied up. And to the credit of those three guys, Matt, Monica, and the rest of the crew there, we wouldn't have gotten open, but we did. And then Darren and I were like, we should do something special for our third birthday. And we were able to get that all together in like a month. So I feel like we got 2 months this year of working hard on here. We're going to have...
Well, it's always been after Demetrius Fest. We're going to talk about that. After Demetrius Fest, we're going to talk about it like, oh, shit. We're
now
there.
After Demetrius Fest. So now we got to get on that. So, but yeah, check us out online, abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. Finance, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.